In this video, we're going to hang a rack of pork ribs in the drum smoker. Now we'll get started by setting up our drum smoker. So we'll open it up, take the cooking grate and the heat deflector out. Then you want to fill your charcoal basket up around 3/4 full with some lump charcoal or briquettes. Then bury a firelighter in there, light it up. Then you'll have about 10 to 15 minutes before your charcoal or briquettes catch light. So we're going to use that time to season our pork ribs. So for this cook, we're using a rack of baby back pork ribs. This one's already been trimmed and it's had the membrane taken off too. But if you want to see a video where I trim a rack of pork ribs, I'll put a link down in the video description for you to have a look at. But all I'm going to do with these pork ribs is go down with a light coat of yellow mustard to help our rub stick to the meat. And then I'll go down with a coat of our honey soy slammer for some sweetness. And then I'll top it off with our steak shooter, which will give us some nice savory flavors and some good color too. All right, so now our firelight is burnt out and our briquettes are burning nice and clean. I'm going to shut our lid, open up both of our vents, and then we'll bring our barbecue up to temperature, which for this cook, I want to be at around 275 Fahrenheit or 135 Celsius. All right, our drum's just about up to temperature, so let's get some hooks in these pork ribs. I'm just going to go through underneath the second bone in, just like so. And now our barbecue's up to temperature, we'll open it up, and I'll get a nice chunk of cherry straight on where the fire's burning. We're going to be leaving our heat deflector out for this cook, but I'm just going to get our hanging rail in. We're also going to be leaving our cooking grate out. I'm just going to get our pork ribs on our hanging rail like so. And I've positioned our pork ribs so they're over the opposite side to where the fire's burning. So now we can shut our lid, which will settle that fire down. Then once our temperature recovers, I'm going to set our intake vent to around there. As always, I'm going to leave our top vent wide open, and then I'll give our drum smoker 10 minutes to see where it stabilizes off. And if I need to decrease temperature, I can just shut that vent down a little bit. Or if I need to increase temperature, I can just open it up a little bit more. But for now, I'm going to leave our vent around there. We'll let these pork ribs smoke away and we'll check on them throughout this cook. All right, our pork ribs have been going for around 90 minutes now. They've developed a really nice color and that rub has set on the meat nicely. So what we can do now is get them out, and then we can take these hooks out. And now we can have a quick closer look at these pork ribs. They look absolutely awesome. But what I'm going to do now is get them down, meat side down, on some butter, honey and brown sugar on 2 layers of foil. And we'll get some butter, brown sugar and honey on the underside of our ribs as well. And we'll wrap them up nice and tight. Then we'll get our heat deflector back in, followed by our cooking grate, then our pork ribs, and we'll close our lid, continue cooking these pork ribs at the same temperature, and then we'll check them for probe tenderness in around 45 to 60 minutes. All right, our pork ribs have been wrapped up for a bit over an hour now. I checked them at around 45 minutes and they weren't quite there yet. They were only at about 85 Celsius or 185 Fahrenheit internal. So all I'm going to do now is probe in between each bone, make sure it's feeling nice and tender, and I want to be at an internal temp of around 96 Celsius or 205 Fahrenheit, which is exactly where we're at. And I want our ribs to have a nice bend to them as well. So I'm happy with how these are feeling. So let's fold this foil up, get our ribs back in, meat side up. Then what I like to do is just close the lid for 5 minutes to dry the top of those pork ribs out a little bit so our sauce or glaze will stick better. Then after a few minutes, go ahead and give your pork ribs a generous coat with your favorite barbecue sauce or glaze. I'm just going to be using some of our Hookshot barbecue sauce. Then shut the lid, give your pork ribs 10 minutes for that sauce to set. Then after that, you can bring them out to slice and serve them. Now that looks and smells fantastic. Got a nice smoke ring on there, but let's have a taste. That is bloody good. Well, there you have it. There's how to hang and smoke pork ribs in the drum smoker. To be completely honest, I don't see too many benefits to it. I mean, the one big benefit is you can hang up to 9 racks if you had all 3 rails in. But then the other issue is when it comes to wrapping, probably have to stack your pork ribs up on the cooking grate because there's not enough space to do them on 1 layer. But it's still pretty cool to do, and I've had quite a few of you recommend I do this video. So if you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss our next videos. I'll put everything you need to know down in the video description. But for now, that's the end of the video. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.